starts getting on my nostrils. That's kind of messing up with my vibe, but we're going to fix that. Hi you guys. So today I wanted to bring you guys in close so we can talk about my nose contour and how I do my contour for my nose and how I get it looking from this with no contour or powder or any type of shadows on it to looking how it's going to look. Okay, so let's get started. So first what you're gonna need is a brush. I use like this is literally, as you can tell, chipping right here. I use the brushes that come, like the eyeshadow brushes that come with the Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes. I just saved one of them for just my nose contour because I love that it's double-ended. And one side's this fluffy little thing and the other side is like more of a padding brush. And it's perfect to fit into like the nooks and crannies of my nostrils and everything like that. So second, what I use is I use a couple different contouring powders. So I use the Hoola Benefit, and then I use Anastasia Beverly Hills Saddle. So I use that. And then sometimes I'll use blush. So I'll show you guys how I do it with the blush, just because I use the blush more times than not. It's not always the way I do it, but. And then I use a bunch of cream product. It's a little bit of an intense situation, but it is what I do, and I thought it'd be fun to bring you guys along and show you guys. So first we're gonna start with the dark contour. And I use, I don't know what color this is, it doesn't say it. It's just the Sephora color corrector. I think it's Bright Future. I don't know if that's the name of what the product is or the color, but whatever cream contour you're using. So then I'm gonna follow this line right here. And I'm not going heavy with the product. I don't want a lot of product on my brush, so you're just gonna go like this. Take it off if you can, and then just follow this line. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so what I did here was I went ahead and I followed the line for my nose, but I went a little bit further in, and then I nicked the corners of my nostrils and I kind of went into that line, but I didn't follow down, I followed back. And then over here, I didn't do a circle, I kind of went down into, I don't know what this shape would be called, but maybe like a V that I didn't connect all the way because I don't want to block this color right here. I don't want to make it like a harsh line and shorten my nose anymore. But I do want to make it a V and kind of bring all that up. And from the side, this is how it looks like. I went all the way up and I connected it to my brow. I didn't extend further up because I want it to have kind of like a natural slope. And I'm looking in the viewfinder so I can explain it to you guys better. And then on this side, what I did is I did the same thing, but this side of my nose looks different than this. I sleep on this side of my face, so I feel like this side is shaped different than this. So then you're gonna follow it up and you're gonna connect this one as well, straight into the brow. I've even let some of the product literally go into the brow. So I'm gonna let this dry because it needs to dry a little bit in place, so then when I blend it out, it doesn't smooth around and go everywhere. I want it to sit in place for the most part. A lot of drying and waiting for the nose contour, for me at least, because I use liquids and powders, you'll see. Okay you guys, so it's dried now, and I'm going to just brush it a little bit and just let it kind of diffuse the color out a little bit. We're not going to be blending it out all the way yet, but it's supposed to be dried to the point where it blends, but not to the point where it doesn't like move. So it should be kind of like a damp situation on your face. Bit of a moisturized cream kind of situation. And so this, as you can tell, it's a bit orange on the face, this step, if you just did it on your own. If you like the way this looks, then you can leave it this way, but I personally keep going. So now what I'm going to do, now that we're orange, I am going to, because this is a little bit too warm for my face, that's why. If you want something that's less warm. I have a very neutral skin tone despite being very brown, you know, caramel. So if you want it to be less orange at this step and just, you know, I don't feel like doing all these different things, you don't feel like doing so many other steps, then try and get a color that is much more shadowy for you. So you want to do a cool tone, something ashy, an ash brown, wood like grayish tones. So anyway, so now what I do is I go ahead and I'm using the L'Oreal Paris Infallible Full Wear Concealer, and I'm going to carve out my nose right here, like that. Literally just like that. And then on this side as well. Just like that. And then for this, I make sure this product is the same one I use under my eyes, or whatever product I use for this step should be the same one I use under my eyes, so the color can blend and I can just drag out the color to go all the way under my eyes. And now, you guessed it, we're gonna do more drying and let this kind of dry on the face right here. Just a little bit. We're gonna wait about like 45 seconds. Maybe a little bit more, maybe about a minute. Sometimes I'll like go to the bathroom or drink some water or respond to some text at this point. Okay, I brought you guys in closer for this. Hi, what's up? So for this now, I'm going to use, I forgot the brush I use. So I can just use my blending brush. And I'm going to pounce and pack this product down into my face, trying not to change that line too much, just because I've already carved out the shape that I want. And okay, so typically I wouldn't have my eyes done for this, but because I wanted the focus point to be just on my nose, I did my face. But for the most part, you wouldn't have all these lashes in the way. So I've left that now, and I'm gonna let it dry a little bit more. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side while that dries, because that's for the most part, I'm done right there. Kind of move the product and kind of, you can even look in like a different mirror and make sure that the product is not staying in one specific spot. And it's all flowing. So at this point, we've got these harsh lines, but we have shrunken in the nose, okay? So now we are going back in with that blendy brush. And as this product dries on your face, because it is drying, by the way, I feel like this like natural light right here is messing with this ring light I have and literally not even working. But now what we're going to do, and now that I've like wet the under eyes again after I set them, they look kind of funny. But I'm going to go in with my saddle brush, Hula Benefit, and because it's my lighter of the two. Okay. So now I'm going to go in with my saddle, which is my darker version of my two options for my nose contour. And I'm going to go and carve out that nose again. You know, those lines, reintroduce them. Those other lines are still already there, so you can just go over them, honestly. Sorry, I'm like so sniffly today, and I'm very sorry that I'm like sniffling everywhere. Okay, so I've carved that out, and now blend, 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 blend. Okay, you guys, so then I'm gonna take the pointed end that I have, and I'm just gonna kind of carve in that tip, and don't have a lot of product on my nose, on my brush right now, or on my nose right now, and I have a lot of product on my nose, let's be honest. I mean on my brush. So we're just carving and carving, okay ladies? We're blending and carving, but we're not straying from that like outline that we've made. Okay, now I'm going to show you guys what I would personally do for my nose at this point. And what I would do is I would take the fluffy side of my brush and I would do a very light amount of product, usually my lighter color, and I would just go ahead and give myself a little tip. Extenuate that tip. Do you see how, because we did the shadow right here, I now have a white outline going like this? Hold on, I just touched that. Do you see that? How that, and now it makes the nose look more like that. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and do some color right here. Give it some pop. And I love the way this looks. So now, last step is take any type of translucent powder you have. I'm just using basic Laura Mercier. And go ahead and set first those under eyes, because if you did drag the product down like I did, you will need to reset that area. And I like doing that first because it's just a very simple setting. You just kind of pack it all over. And then very gently go over the sides of your nose, and then from the top I go over the tip. Like that, very lightly, because I'm still setting. Remember, we're not pouncing on that spot. Okay, now that the powder is set, we can use a light powder or product that you have to set your sides of your nose. So I'm going to go back in with that translucent powder and then use my beauty blender. And I'm going to take, you can use, I used to use foundation for this, like a foundation powder, but I'm gonna use the translucent powder just to show you guys you can literally use anything. You don't have to bake with just translucent powder. I prefer foundation powder just because it gives me a more like snatched look on my nose rather than the translucent powder. It doesn't really have as much like oomph to it, if you know what I mean. And you're gonna trace in those highlighted spots. And I can see right here, you know how it's getting on my nostrils? That's kind of messing up with my vibe, but we're going to fix that. And I will show you a little tip on what to do for your nostrils, because if you have nostrils like me, ladies, you know, they are, you know, they're a point that express emotion quickly on the face. Then I will give you guys some tips on how to go ahead and, you know, manage them. So we're gonna let that just kind of set right there. And if you wanna get more specific, then you can go ahead and really well wipe off that little brush that you've been using. I do this sometimes where if I just need to be very specific and my beauty blender is just not letting me, then either get another brush or you can use, you know, the same brush, just wipe it off. And I'm also gonna hit my middle of my eyebrows, because those get oily for me. This like little area gets oily for me. Okay, so now that lighting is so bad, seriously. So now I'm just gonna let this go ahead and set on my face for, I don't know, like a minute or whatever. And at this point I would be doing my eyes or my lips or something, my eyebrows. I can move on to a different spot in my face, but because I'm done with my whole face and I'm just showing you guys my contour for my nose, I don't have anything to do. So I'm gonna wipe this off. Being very gentle here, okay? And I'm blending away from the face, not onto the face. I know sometimes you can also blend onto the face, but I blend away. Now, I'm gonna take my foundation brush and just go over that spot just to get rid of that cakey look. Set that powder. So then I'm gonna go in with the lighter of my two contour powders, and this is the last step, I promise you. And you're gonna go over your nostrils. Just hit your nostril a little bit, you know, a couple pounces on each side. And honey, that will help it like go in more and not attract attention to your nostrils, because we just set the powder and it did probably fall on your nostrils and make them a little bit brighter. So then we have one final thing we're going to do today, and it's going to be my blush. I love doing this step. You don't have to do this step. You can do whatever you want. So for this step, I'm just gonna take my blush and a mirror, and I'm going to go right on top of that spot right there where I cut out that tip before, and I'm going to apply some blush. Very simply, just in that one spot, and then in a little line, drag it around. And then a little tip that I have for this is you take your foundation brush, and I know this seems heavy, But you follow up that line, kind of hold it like this, follow up that line, go over like that, and then follow that line again over here. And then you want to like hold your nose up and then follow it like that. And that is my nose contour look. So I absolutely love this look. Let's go find some better lighting. Let's just go outside. It's gonna be cold out there, but we're gonna go stand outside so I can show you guys just how pretty this is and how it's not like, is that helpful? I can't see right now, so. So I love this. It looks very natural in the light. You don't look like you're being crazy and, you know, we got all of our orange lines in our face. Okay, you guys, so this is my nose contour video. I really hope you try it, and I hope you like and subscribe and stick around for more videos because I will be posting more. And I'm gonna figure out how to block that light because it keeps interfering with this light right here. And I know that must be annoying for you guys, and I have to keep looking in the viewfinder to make sure this light's like not like that so I can stay out of it. Is that better? I'm still trying to figure this thing out. Okay. So I hope you guys like this video. I had so much fun recording it. I love posting videos like this, and I hope you guys do too. And if you try it, then let me know. Comment down below if you did, or tag me on Instagram because I would love to see if you tried it because girl, I promise you, you're gonna love it, you're gonna become addicted, and you're gonna do it every day. That's me. So I'm out of here. Thank you for watching. Bye.